Good evening, sports fans. Tonight on NCTV5, the Liberty Center Tigers have made the trek nearly 200 miles east to the corner of the state. Tonight, Liberty Center comes in at 5-1. They'll be wearing orange pants, white jerseys, and onto the field now comes the Mineral Ridge Rams, 6-0 on the year, wearing all black. Tom, I've got a new road crew here tonight. Landis Utopia Burmeister, who you're is well known around Liberty circles here tonight, and man on the color commentary tonight, filling in for my old buddy Jimmy, who's taking out beans back home. I've got none other than Tom Fry, man who has written 200 consecutive stories for the Liberty Press. So here on number 201, here high atop Ram Stadium, Jim, see here I'm stuck with it. Tom, we're all aware of what Liberty Center can do and what they've done. They've been improving every week, but give us a quick rundown as quick as we can here of what we can expect from Mineral Ridge.
Well, Spike, they're like Liberty Center. They like to run the ball, but they're going to run it in a totally different fashion. They're going to run it out of a stacked I formation, 3 guys in a line behind a quarterback, as opposed to Liberty Center's wing T that we run back on the west part of the state. So they like to go behind their 2 big tackles. They got a 285-pounder and a 265-pounder, and they're going to try to punch it off that side, off both sides tonight.
Okay, just about set for kickoff. Tigers will receive. Silvas and Smith back deep. Low line drive kick comes down to Smith at the 11. Smith returns up the hash mark, has a seam, breaks out in the clear, breaks a tackle and barrels his way up across the 40-yard line and up to the 41. Tigers with a 31-yard kickoff return in good field position.
Spike, I thought he had a seam there about the 30-yard line and it closed quick, but he's still got, Liberty Center's got a real good field position.
All right, Tigers will come out. I believe that's Eric Weimer in the starting lineup tonight. Tigers in that standard wing T to the left formation. Here's the give to Silvas, trying to get outside, has some running room, breaks up across the 45 and up to the 46, a gain of 5 on first down.
That's a good gain, Spike. That's what they got to do on first down. We got to get some yardage to make second and third down a lot easier.
Absolutely. Okay, quickly here. Our starting lineup, we've got Wiley and Bodenbender. Wiley number 6, Bodenbender number 15 at the tight ends. Wade Van Sickle number 55, and Martinez the tackles left and right. Espinoza the guard, Hill the guard, Scott Stewart the center. Babcock in motion, gets straight ahead to Weimer. Weimer breaks the Silvas, and Silvas all the way down across the 45 to the 43-yard line, we'll call it.
Spike, the Tigers, that's the second time in a row they've run off the left side. They're going behind Wiley, Van Sickle, and Espinoza. In the last 2-3 weeks, these boys been busting a lot of big holes through there.
Well, and they're just proof of the pudding there, and the fact the Tigers getting healthy, filling in the cracks, and now becoming a solid football team. Gain of 11 on the play. Tigers will have a 1st and 10 at the Ram 43. In motion, Babcock gives straight ahead to Weimer, all right up the middle, and down the left sideline at the 20, the 10, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a Tiger touchdown! It's a Tiger touchdown! Eric the Sledge Weimer off the left side, broke to the sideline, and all the way in from 43 yards out. Holy mackerel, Tommy!
Spike, that's what we like to see. We want to get on the board first, get on top. I think you're right. He just went off the left side and he busted it out to the outside and he outran the last man down the sideline there.
What a job by the Tiger offensive line in this first series of plays. All right, Hill the snapper, Babcock to hold, and Sanchez to kick. And blocked at the line of scrimmage. Kick was true, I believe, Jim, but a good effort there by the Mineral Ridge Rams. Tigers go up. 10:52 remaining, only a minute and 8 seconds gone here on TV5. Liberty up 6-0 over Mineral Ridge.
Are you going to play?
Okay, while we've got a chance here, while the team's set up for the Tiger kickoff, our sponsors this year, and I can't thank them enough in our wonderful community of Liberty Center, how well they back all the athletic and academic endeavors. We've got Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy Hill. Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry, Pisanello's Pizza with Craig and Sherry Myers, the Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt, the Dugout with Steve and Catherine Parasini, Truckers Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke, KK Collision with Kyle Kern, Schaefer Truck and RV Sales and Rentals with Terry Schaefer, Miller Brother Trucking with Skip Miller, and Eon Industries with Judy. Excuse me. All right, Sanchez kickoff comes down at the 11. They've got a return right set up. Slowed down, great coverage. Number 34, Greitman got a hand on him, slowed him down.
Looked like Carpenter and Butler finish him off then.
All right. Chris Butler, one of those guys that comes in and plays a lot of different spots for the Tigers, another standout on special teams. And once again, Greitman for the second week in a row. And I want to make sure I say Tom instead of Jim, but does a good job. He's got outside coverage, but still gets in to make a hit. All right, now Mineral Ridge comes in that I formation, gives straight ahead, and a little bit of running room there. Tigers, we got a late hit on Liberty, I believe. Somebody led with the helmet, and it'll probably result in a Ram first down. Line of scrimmage originated at the just across the 20-yard line, and that should give them, well, Tom, a little extracurricular, but I think it's the butterflies and the adrenaline flowing.
Yeah, it's a 15-yarder, Spike.
All right. That'll give
like conduct.
Yeah, that'll give Mineral Ridge the ball up near their own 39-yard line.
Spike, they did. They made good penetration in there, though.
Yeah. Okay, the defense with defensive ends, Jan Stewart and Proudfoot, number 35 and 64. Espinoza and Van Sickle, the tackle. Scott Stewart, nose guard. All right, give straight ahead, and a gain of about 4 on the play.
Looked like Bodenbender and Espinoza got in on a tackle, but that's their big fullback. He's about 6'1" and 210 pounds. He runs hard.
Yeah, definitely a football team to physically be reckoned with, of course. All right, now Mineral Ridge will run out of that two tight end formation with the stacked I backfield. Sometimes a little difficult to follow the ball here. Give to the last man through the fullback, or actually the tailback, excuse me, and a gain of about 5, and I think Mineral Ridge has got very close to another first down.
Looks like Stewart got him down low, and Weimer finished him off, but like you said, it's not quite a first down.
Yeah, and I think we'll see the Liberty Center making adjustments as this first series moves on here with the way they impact this running game.
Oh.
Well, I lost the football. He gave to one of the upbacks, scrambled around, finally found enough running room to get to the 50, and a Ram first down. They're second in this series.
He didn't find any room off the right side, but he came back, and Weimer finished him off in there, and I think Jan Stewart was in on that play. Spike, I noticed one thing. They're not ever going in the huddle here.
You're right. You're right. And here again, I almost called you Jim. You probably get called that 10 times, so forgive me. But yeah, you're right. Getting the play in from the sideline and going from there. All right, give with that last man through the tailback, and the Tigers eat that up. Gain of a yard at best.
Looks like Stewart again got tripped him up at the for a short gain.
Yeah, Silvas in there also on the hit.
Well, you can see it right now, Spike. They're like the Tigers. They like to run the ball. They won't. I don't think they'll pass unless they have to.
Well, this is a good old crunch 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em game. Tigers now second down their defense with a 2nd and 9 situation. Of course, wanting to force Mineral Ridge into that 3rd and long. Deep pitch and backed in the backfield. He's going to be stopped for a 2-yard loss. Penetration.
I think it's a Weimer. Weimer shot through and caught him.
Yeah, Hill in there also on the hit. Boy, Eric Weimer, what a yeoman's job. What a man in the middle of the defense for Liberty Center.
He's banged up early, Spike, but he's made a comeback. I don't know how he does it with his shoulder and his elbow, but he still plays hard.
Yeah, we've got linebackers in there right now. We've got Carpenter, Weimer, and Tigers showing. Here's Weimer coming on a blitz, and the quarterback gets rid of it, and ouch. Wow, that was close. Silvas got his legs tangled up.
Yeah, I think he got his legs tangled up.
All right, well, the Tigers, well, it's unfortunate. The ball was high. I don't know if it was catchable.
I'm not sure if it was catchable.
It's just one of those unfortunate penalties. 15-yard penalty. That'll put the ball down around Liberty Center's 30, we'll call it the 36-yard line.
Spike, this is something they've, the last 3 weeks or so, they've improved on the penalty side of the game, and they've had 2 here in this drive that have kind of helped them out a little bit.
Well, good pressure on the linebacker blitz by Weimer. Quarterback had to drop a little bit farther back, and they had him on the ropes. But now Mineral Ridge with a first down. Give to the second back off the left side. Tigers right there to meet him. Gain of about 2 on the play. Will bring up about 2nd and 8. 7:50 clock running here, first period. Liberty Center leading 6-0. We'll get the rest of these defensive starters. Weimer and Tyler Carpenter as linebackers. Silvas is kind of a monster back. Tate Slee and Moeller will also see a lot of action at the linebacker spot. Now deep pitch going to the left. And good pursuit out there. Hold down short of the 30-yard line. That's Tate Slee, number 25, in on the original hit.
Tate Slee and Paul Smith. Tate Slee just come in the game, and he made a nice play fighting off the interference and getting to the ball carrier.
All right, 83 for the Rams, pleading his case, of course, to no avail. And that makes it 3rd down, and we'll call it 6 yards to go. Critical play here, Tom, already in this first quarter. Tigers have Ridge forced into a situation where they got to do a little something extra. They came right back out with that same too tight, stacked eye offense. Here is a little delay off the right side, right there at the line. Gain of maybe a yard on the play, and the Tigers box them in.
Mike, I think that was Eric Weimer again.
Well, that time they tried a little delay and then kind of a slant off trying to find a seam off the right side. And that play, much like a slant route on a pass play, as they try to catch the Tigers off balance and hopefully getting him to the outside. Now, the Rams field there in 4-down territory. Big play here, 4th and 4 at the Tiger 30. Dropping back, pressure, in trouble, now gets away, fires upfield, incomplete, knocked down.
Spike, Derek Proudfoot had the pressure on him, made him run wide, and I don't think he could square his shoulders up to throw that ball.
Yep, good observation. Also, number 64 for Liberty.
Derek Proudfoot.
Yeah, Proudfoot. Derek Proudfoot also on the chase. And the Tigers hold on defense. They'll take over at their own 30-yard line. 5:51 to go here in the first period. All right, a few more of our sponsors as the Tigers come to the line. Eon Industries with Judy Leininger and Dawn Bender. And the Mitchell Farm Equipment with Tom, Pat, Barb, and Mike Mitchell, featuring the Simplicity lawn and garden tractor line. Now Babcock goes in motion, runs left, pitch to Weimer. Weimer tries to find a seam, hangs on to the football. A lot of dust out there in midfield. And now Weimer battles his way forward for a tough 2.5 yards. Now the Tigers come out with Weimer behind the quarterback. Silvas set off to the left, and Brett Babcock, the wingback, over here on the right side. Motion left Babcock. Give to Weimer straight ahead. Weimer runs into a pile, but keeps those legs driving. Gets up across the 35 to about the 36. Another gain of 2, maybe 3 tough ones, but it'll give Liberty, Tom, I believe, just under a 5-yard opportunity here.
That's tough running up the middle. Lindgren was on the radio last night talking about they like to go, they run basically a 4-4 defense, and at the last minute they'll drop the outside 2 guys up, and it'll actually almost be a 6-2. So they got plenty of guys on the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got to get their block.
All right, Paul Smith into the game for Wiley, spread out wide to this side, and Bodenbender spread wide to the other side. Give to Silvas. Silvas hit immediately, picks up maybe a yard, and now the Tigers facing a 4th and 4 at their about the 37. We'll see where they spot it. Now no gain on the play, so 4th and 4 from their own 36.
After a little success in the first series, Spike, the Mineral Ridge Rams have tightened it up a little bit. We'll have to see. The Tigers are going to have to get back and get their offense back in gear.
All right, now Babcock, the up back, and Bobby Black back to punt for Liberty Center. They show blitz. Tigers hold that out. Uh-oh, maybe blocked a little. Tiger gets a Tiger roll, fortunately, and the ball's going to roll dead down at the... Uh-oh, wait a minute, there may be a turnover. Liberty Center's got it. Jeremiah, oh my, on the recovery.
Spike, I'm not too sure. I think the Mineral Ridge guy just got a little too close. It must have touched him, and no, Jeremiah Hill just pounced on the ball. That's a good heads-up play.
Absolutely. It's all about making plays, and the Tigers make one there. I'm not sure there was a blitz on that punt. It may have been blocked, but the Tigers back in business at the Mineral Ridge 41-yard line. They line up in that standard wing T to the left set. Here is play action. Babcock back to throw. Fires deep and over the head of Bodenbender, incomplete.
Spike, the throw was a little high, but we got to hand it to him. He had a little bit of time there. They made up a nice little roll-out pocket, and they give him plenty of time to throw it.
All right, Tigers can afford to pull off something like that now, of course. Ball in more than likely 4-down territory. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 at the Ram 41. Smith spread wide to this side of the field, and the Tigers with the double wing set. Weimer, the lone setback. Tight end on the left, Bodenbender. Motion right. Here's the double reverse, or the reverse, and nothing doing there. Good penetration from the defense in number 75.
Yeah, that's big number 75, Nick Menichini. He's 6'2", 280 pounds. He plays defensive end. He made good penetration, made Brett go a little bit deeper than he wanted to, and tripped him up a little.
All right, now the Tigers have 2 downs to come up with 15 yards. The ball now rests on Mineral Ridge 45-yard line. So now the Tigers come out with a new set. They've got Silva spread to this side. Double receiver on the left. Babcock in the slot. Now straight drop back. Under pressure, rolling right. A little toss, middle screen, and not handled. We got a flag on the play, though.
They're going to...
I believe there was some hand action down here around the 40-yard line. Not sure which way this is going to go.
Spike, I'm wondering if they are going to call a legal man downfield or something.
Okay. That appeared to be a hold downfield going by the call. So now Mineral Ridge will decline that penalty. That'll bring up 4th down and about 14 to go. Well,
Spike, I think that if that's illegal man downfield, I think it was loss of down also. Is that loss of down?
Yeah, 4th down coming up. So the Tigers will bring their punt unit in there. Spread out wide this side, Bodenbender, one of the cover men. And I believe Paul Smith on the other. And, of course, Babcock, the up back. Good snap. Black goes with a fake. Fires, caught by Babcock, and that's only going to be good for about 5 yards. Well,
Spike,
nothing doing there.
Spike, I'm not sure if he got back to just about the original line of scrimmage there.
Well, sometimes you got to gamble. That time it did not pay off, but so many times in the, in your 18 years of covering the Tigers, we've seen good things happen.
Oh, we've seen a lot of good plays out of that. And Coach Lingard said on the radio last night that he had planned maybe to have a couple of those in the game tonight. So that's the first one we've seen.
Well,
but they look like they, I don't know what tapes they were looking at, but they were ready for it.
All right, now Mineral Ridge battles through that fumble, and they'll take over at about the same place they had before at the 41. Uh-oh, and I'm afraid that could be the Tigers' penalty. Well, if I'm not mistaken, that'll be...
Offside Liberty Center.
Yep.
They were saying they induced him to come off sides, but the referee didn't see it that way.
Okay, fourth penalty whistled against the Tigers, 3 accepted. And of course that one an automatic. So Mineral Ridge comes out, same offensive set. Tigers show a 5-man front, 3 linebackers, and 3 defensive backs. Here is a little play action. They set up a screen, caught over there at the 45, worming his way upfield, and a first down yardage into Liberty Center territory at the 43.
Spike, that was Weimer and Paul Smith that finished it off, but once they got the completion to the big fullback, he got some blockers out in front of him, and they had to take the interference out to get to him, and but not before he got a first down.
Well, good call on 1st and 5. So now the ball back in Liberty Center territory. The defense challenged again. And now the Ram quarterback looks to the sideline. A bit of confusion there. Clock running, 2:35 left here in the first period. Liberty Center scored on their opening possession. They lead 6-0. Here's play action again, in trouble. Oh no, he somehow got rid of it, and there it is.
Yeah, that's going to be a touchdown.
Yep, I would believe so. Eric Weimer, the sledge, a man on a mission, sacks him in the backfield.
Spike, there, our defensive ends were coming hard on him. He was in trouble right from the beginning, and then Weimer pushed him outside, and he had to get rid of it. And
well, in my book, that's worth a sack.
Sometimes it's a lot better than this. That's right.
So that should be loss of down. So this could really be a huge play. So now they take it back to the 50, a 5-yard. Wow, wait a minute. Boy, the Liberty Center fans very irate on that. Now the officials with infamous huddle get together. Now we get the walk-off for the grounding. And now that means it will be 2nd down and probably, we'll call it 22 yards.
Spike, we've had excellent pressure on the quarterback tonight. He hasn't had any time to throw anything.
Yeah, and when you run an offense out of a running formation, makes it a little easier. Now gives to that tailback, weaving his way ahead. He picks up about 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 16 to go. Ball inside Ram territory. They've got to get down to the 36, 34 for a first down. So we'll call it 16 to go on 3rd.
Eric Weimer got in on that play, then Kurt Silva's come in and helped finish him off.
Yeah. Now the Tigers drop back in sort of an umbrella defense with the defensive backs. They're going to show Weimer as the lone backer. Other 2 linebackers drop off. Give off that side, stacked up there inside.
That's Weimer, Butler again.
Yep,
Butler's
Butler
in on it, and Weimer.
Along with Weimer. Good call, Tom.
That's a good series of downs, Spike. We got the penalty and held them back, and now we're going to get the ball back.
Yeah, so far that screen pass has been their most effective play. And in punt formation, of course, Mineral Ridge. They've got a man spread wide either side, just outside the hash marks. Back deep for Liberty, I believe, is Silvis, the lone receiver there. So the Tigers may have a little stunt going on here. Good protection, low line drive punt. That's going to sail out of bounds down around the 10-yard line.
Spike, I'm not sure if they're punting away from Silvis or not, but he drove it out of bounds down there and pinned him down inside the 20.
Yeah, an effective punt, 36 yards and out of bounds. Tigers will take over at their 10-yard line. 58 seconds remaining here in period number 1 if you're just tuning into TV5. Liberty Center leads 6-0. Their first possession, they moved quickly upfield, I believe on only 4 or 5 plays. Weimer scoring from 43 yards out, I believe. All right, now the Tigers need to sustain something here. Get the ball away from the end zone. Tigers set up with the double wing set. Weimer, the lone setback. Man in motion, takes the handoff. Babcock looks for room, cuts it across the green, stays on his feet, gets up across the 20-yard line and up to the 20, we'll call it the 23. 13 yards and another first down.
That's a nice run by Brett Babcock, Spike. And you're right, that got us out of our own end there, and that's what we need to do. We need to keep moving that ball.
Yeah, now you notice in an earlier series, Weimer powered it up the middle twice, and Silvis ran on a supposedly passing down, which only sets up those types of plays for later on. All right, same double wing package with Smith wide to this side. Here is Weimer coming the other way on a little delay, a couple of yards on the play, close to about, well, it depends on the spot, up close to the 25, maybe a yard gain.
I think that was Brett Babcock on the run.
Oh, I'm sorry, Babcock.
We need to get a couple first downs, Spike. It's slowly the field position game is starting to move deeper into our end. We need to move it out of there.
All right, now the Tigers come back with the standard wing tee set to the left. Give to Silvis coming around the outside. Not a lot of running room there as he gets across the 25 up to about the 26 if we get a good spot, although from here I think we're going to get a left-footed one because Silvis was clearly a yard across the 26, across the 25, excuse me.
Kurt tried to go off the left side, but he ran into a whole pile of players, and they made him force it back outside, and the pursuit got him.
All right, now that's the end of the first quarter. Tigers lead 6-0. Key here, Tom, once again. Tigers with a good place here for the end of the quarter. Now they've got time to decide how to handle this tenuous field position. All right, now to get more of our sponsors here, we've got B.A. Miller & Sons Trucking with Norma Miller, L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown, Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff Spangler, the Sky Bank in Liberty Center, Davis Farm Services of Delta and Liberty with Karen Howell, the Tiger Shop with Bob and Julie Shaddy, Speece Trailer Court with Rick Speece, Swanton Welding with Norm Zeider, Meyer Badenhop Insurance Company with Glenn and Napoleon, Bob and Marge in Liberty Center. Also the Liberty Center Athletic Boosters. Special thanks to Ken and Robin Carpenter. Also, we've got John McClure with his Liberty Center carryout, sponsoring those Pettysville meats and potato salad. Also, we've got the Porch Coaches, of whom you're well aware of who those fellas are by now. Also, we've got John Slago and the memory of good old Donnie Sharp and those stinking rotten, no good yellow flags. And, of course, also Tim Bowen's water hauling service. Well, Tom, end of first quarter. Tigers, I think the highlight, of course, was the quick touchdown, but the Tiger defense has held pretty strong.
Yes, they have.
3rd down and 8. Babcock back to throw, upfield, and off the fingertips of, I believe, the intended receiver, Bodenbender.
That's the man to go to. He's our leading receiver, but it just didn't work that time.
Well, Bodenbender, truly a big play receiver for Liberty Center. His yards per catch, second in all of Northwest Ohio. But the Tigers in a punting situation here. They're going to be getting it away from their own 25.
Barring a fumble or anything, Spike, they're going to get real good field position. He's at the zone.
Lining up his own 40. Yeah. High end over end kick. And fair catch called for at the 46. So you're right, Tom, the field position swinging a little bit here, and the Tigers defense once again called on to do a job.
I must say one thing, Spike. After that first series, the Mineral Ridge defense has played tough, so they must have made some adjustments.
Well, and the big thing is, when you pound it up the middle to try to set up your outside game, you need a little bit of success, and when Mineral Ridge, with their adjustments like you mentioned, certainly changes the way the Tigers have to attack use the attack on offense. Now give to the last back through, met right away at the line, gain of maybe a yard.
Silvis and Tate Slay were in on that one.
And boy, that's big. The line seeming to do their job, bottling up the interference and setting it up for the linebackers to give up the short gain. Tigers front 5 playing extremely well. Quick snap there and met at the 49 up to about the 50. We'll give him 3 on the play, 3rd down and 5.
That was Derek Proudfoot made the first hit, and Brett Babcock come in and finished him off. Spike, you see it there. This is kind of familiar. Liberty Center did this, was it 2 years ago or last year? They with no huddle. They don't call it a hurry up. They just call it a no huddle.
All right, waiting for signal call there. A little confusion by the quarterback. So now on 3rd and a long 5 at midfield. Mineral Ridge with the football. Tigers in their standard 5-3-3 defense. Give off to that number 10. A lot of running room around the outside at the 40 and still on his feet inside the 30-yard line before he's finally pushed out of bounds.
I think Brian Babcock pushed him out, but looked like a little delay play, and Coach Lingard said on the radio last night that they won't just run it off they'll run some counter plays.
Well, in that time, of course, you shoot a gun often enough, and sooner or later you're going to hit your target. That time it worked right for Mineral Ridge, and now they're inside the 35. Give off the right side, weaving his way up through, slowed down by the interior of the line.
Brett Babcock finished him off, but Proudfoot got the first hand on him.
Yeah.
There's
Brett Babcock and possibly Proudfoot also maybe got a hand on him to slow him down, but a gain of about 3.
Mark Huff just come in the game, Spike, at tackle.
All right, Tigers going to use a little bit different look here. Ball at the Liberty 29-yard line. 10:06 to go, second period. Tigers up 6-0. Now that little deke heads to the outside, cuts it back up, down at about the 26. Gain of 3, and we're looking at 3rd and 4.
Chris Butler and double nickel. Wade Van Sickle got in on that play to stop him a little bit short of the first down there.
Yeah, I believe Butler must be filling in at nose guard for the Tigers.
Yeah, he's at nose tackle.
Defensive end out on that far side, Jan Stewart, number 35. All right, big down here. Uh-oh, and that is probably a delay of game coming from the official in behind the Tiger defense. So now that's a big penalty, Tom.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of difference between 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 9.
Yeah, ball all the way back to the 30-yard line. Of course, I'm sure Mineral Ridge feels that they're in 4-down territory. They've already showed evidence of that earlier. Tyler Carpenter at number 32 as a linebacker back into the game. And Ridge sticking with that same offensive set. Weimer shows blitz. Tigers coming, the throw short on that little middle screen. And let's see, Butler was all over that one anyway, Tom, if he would have caught it.
Looked like Jan Stewart, Huff, and Butler were all putting the pressure on him. He looked like he decided he didn't have anybody open. He just kind of threw it at the guy's foot.
Yeah, that could very well be the case because it was Butler, number 71, who was back there all over the intended receiver. And now, with a 4th and 9, with 9:03 to go here in the second quarter, Mineral Ridge calls a timeout.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Tommy, 4th and 9. You've got the ball on Liberty Center's 31-yard line. What would you do if you were the Mineral Ridge Big Brass?
Well, I'll tell you what, their little screenplay has been working good. Maybe they'll come back to that.
Low snap, trip receivers to the right. They're going to throw the home run ball up there. Wide open receiver, and a beautiful defensive play by Brett Babcock. Baby, that's worth $152,000 there. He stole a touchdown from the Rams.
Spike, I thought the receiver had it, and at the last minute, Brett jumped up and knocked it out of his hand. I think a great play.
Boy,
great play.
That ball, had he been by himself, and if you were trying to judge had he broke the plane, I believe the call would have been yeah. But Babcock recovered, got there, and got the hand and literally stripped it out of his fingertips.
The snap from center was a little bit low. The quarterback had to go down to get it, and I didn't give him much time to look downfield, but he got off a nice pass.
All right, now the Tigers take over for the second time on downs at their own 31. Babcock motion right, gives straight ahead, nothing there. Excuse
Kurt
me.
Silvis. That's Kurt Silvis on the carry.
I thought Weimer had it here. It was Silvis. My bad. Gain of 2, a long 2 on the play. No, in fact, no, wait a minute till we get the ball spotted.
Yeah. Spike, we need to get a little bit more out of first downs. That makes it a lot easier on that 2nd and 3rd.
Okay. Tigers stay with a standard wing set to the left. 2 tight ends, give straight ahead Silvis. Silvis powers his way up across the 35 up to the 36. Gain of 3, and we'll call it 3rd down and 5.
That was just a straight dive. They just took it right to him, hoping to catch a seam there and break into the secondary.
Well, and you've got to do it. You've got to keep people honest. And after all, 3rd and 5 sure beats 3rd and 10.
Well, you take Weimer, if he runs the ball early in the game, those 1 and 2, 3-yard runs, they end up bigger in the second half. They wear them down.
Good point. Now Paul Smith, number 28, checks into the lineup. A wide out to the far side, replacing Wiley, the tight end. Twin setback. Rolling left as Babcock has time, stops, fires high, and a beautiful defensive play by the Rams. Silvis was open down there inside the 45, but the Rams recover, and the Tigers facing a 4th down of their own.
Mike, I would have taken a perfect pass to get that in there. They had him pretty well covered, right near the sideline. He run out of field.
Well, the Tigers failed to get a first down, and now in a probable punt situation with the ball at their own 37.
Spike, you got to always remember we got that quarterback sitting up in that up position, but I don't think a fake is here to be had this,
all right,
in this
the
position.
Rams put on a token rush. Black gets off a high wobbler. Fair catch called for. Bounces at the 40, and the Tigers will down it right there. Well, that time they were laying back, so apparently they've heard about our prowess, if you will, at the 4th down punt fakes. So only a token rush, as I said.
But again, we find that the Rams are starting their possession outside their own 40-yard line.
Well, and but the Tiger defense, though, they've made a couple big plays, and they've been able to negate any extended drive by the Rams. All right, they come out with that same set. Weimer shows blitz, and I believe we're going to get encroachment on the Tigers.
Looked like Eric Weimer was going to come on the blitz, and we just jumped. I don't know if it was a snap count or what. They jumped off sides.
I think the call probably came against our defensive end over there on the other side. He got a jump after Weimer. All right, now up across the 45, the Rams are the 1st and 5, and of course now that changes options. Give off the left side, trying to find running room. Met right at the line of scrimmage and stopped right there.
That's Eric Weimer down on the bottom again. He had him by the legs, and the rest of them finished him off.
Well, a very healthy spot in favor of the Rams there. I don't see him even breaking the plane of the 46-yard line, but the ball spotted up at the 47. So
Spike,
now
excuse me, we have Jason Moeller just come in the game here. He's going to be at another linebacker spot.
Yeah, Jason, a very accomplished player in his own right as a junior. All right, Tigers play it straight, give off the left side. Met there, short of the 50. And that's going to bring up 3rd and very short. A dangerous down for the Tiger defense here. But Mineral Ridge content to pound away at Liberty Center. And I'm thinking that their philosophy, you made mention of it earlier, the Tigers pounded at them early. Weimer may be getting bigger yardage as the game progresses. Yep. Mineral Ridge, I think, with the same idea. They're going to pound it and against somebody until they wear them down in the second half. But they're playing a team of people that aren't necessarily going to get into that. Tries to kick it outside, finds a seam, and a first down across the Tiger 45-yard line.
Weimer and Butler finished him off, but somebody had their hand on him in the backfield, and he went a little bit wider, cut it upfield, and got that first down, Spike.
Yeah, and a dangerous situation because on 3rd and 1, you really have to play it straight up because the other team knows that if they want, they can go for it on 4th if they run a little razzle-dazzle at you. Okay, 1st and 10, 5:59 remaining in the first half. Mineral Ridge with the football. Give straight ahead. Weimer fights one guy off, kind of hog ties him and throws him away.
Van Sickle and Stewart were in there. They tried to run it off the left side behind that big 280-pound tackle, but the Tigers stuffed it up.
Yeah, and that has to be a challenge for Liberty Center as they try to deal with the superior size advantage that they've got on their offensive line matchups.
I think that's why they moved 217-pound Van Sickle inside to kind of take care of that guy.
Yeah, Wade, a very, very strong young man. Give to the last back, hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard gain. That'll bring up third, and we're going to call it 5. We'll give him a couple yards, possibly Weimer.
I think it was Weimer. Spike, the play was made. I think Derek Proudfoot made enough penetration. He wanted to come outside, and he made him cut it back inside, and a pursuit came in and closed on him. That was a nice play by Derek Proudfoot.
Well, big play here. Ball just inside the Tiger 40-yard line. 4:42, clock running, second period. Tigers up 6-0. Now the give to the second back. No, and they're going to run the option play. And the Tigers made a hit on Smagarino!
That was Casey Bodenbender. Made him jump in the air, and Tate Slee finished him off, and boy, did he hit him big time. Now we got fourth down, Spike.
Yep, that was Major League. That's the kind of stuff you see on Saturday afternoon. 4th and 4. And the Tigers will set Silvis back to about the 10-yard line. Mineral Ridge may set up in the punt formation, but at this spot in the field. And now I believe we've got a timeout. Liberty Center calls a timeout. They want to make sure, Tom, of how they want to be set for this, because you obviously, it's only fourth and a long 4. They can't give up the fake.
They definitely don't want to do that. Spike, on that last offensive play, that's the first time tonight we've seen that number 14 run the option play for him. The other plays have been going to one of the two backs in the stacked eye.
And the Tigers played it right. First guy out there forced the pitch, and then the Tigers were able to concentrate on the pitch man.
Spike, I don't think you could play it any better than what they did. That was a beautiful play.
And it's like the coach from Mineral Ridge said, the Tigers played defense all over the field. Quite in evidence there.
We don't have a...
That's right.
We don't have a whole lot of size, Spike, but we got some guys that they can get to the ball. We got a lot of speed, a lot of quickness, and they're tough.
All right. With that timeout, of course, it does give Mineral Ridge a few options to discuss. So the Tigers have a defender on the 2 wideouts. Punt formation for the Rams.
Let's see if they kick it away from him.
Well, they're going to look to run it. Pressure from Jan Stewart, and fires upfield. Caught.
They're gonna call it a catch, Spike. Penalty flag.
Uh-oh. Ouch. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I have not a clue here, although penalty on Mineral Ridge. Jim, Tom, excuse me, I think what may happen here, the first down will stand. It'll just be walked off after. Illegal participation, perhaps. I'm not sure.
I didn't catch the signal.
Too many men on the field, which would be illegal participation.
No, they should. Spike, I didn't get the call. Maybe we'll get it again here, and the man in the white hat, but I don't think they're going to get the first down.
Well, the down box is kind of hanging out there in la-la land between the two markers. Everything's been moved, and so it'll probably take a couple Philadelphia lawyers here to figure this out.
That's way beyond us, Spike.
Absolutely me. Oh, my. Well, now the down box shows 4, but once the chains were moved, I mean, this thing is really thrown into a...
The scoreboard Spike, they're still trying to sort it out. The scoreboard has 4th and 4, but
Well, right away I can see the inexperience over there with their chain gang, not the polish that we have at Liberty Center under the tutelage of Mike Mann in his 38 years of experience.
these teams may be evenly matched, but they're sure not on the chain gang, that's for sure.
All right, now back in punt formation again. The situation with the down markers in the chain shows 4th and about 12. So a low line drive punt. Silvas fumbles it, picks it up, gets past one man, tries to get to the outside, stays on his feet, breaks a couple tackles, still going, and we've got a flag, a stinking rotten, no good yellow flag on the play.
Spike, he was trapped 2-3 times and he got out of it, but we got a flag on the play here.
What a battler, Kurt Silvas. Very strong for all his quickness. Nate Kamick, and very well deserving, I might add, getting all the headlines, but Kurt Silvas really does a workmanlike job for Liberty Center and certainly a threat every time he touches the football.
I think it's a illegal block.
That would be.
That's from the spot, and it'll push them back down deep in their own territory. They're going back inside the 10-yard line.
Well, now we see the chain gang finally learning their lesson, staying still until well after everything established here.
Well, they don't want to rush into anything, Spike.
No. Well, now the Tigers, 3:37 left in the quarter, and the clock stopped. A tenuous spot with them. They've got the ball on their own 9-yard line. Here is the give to Silvas. Breaks a tackle, slips out, breaks another tackle. He's got running room at the 35. Hits through it, stays on his feet all the way up to the 45-yard line. Up to the 44, a gain of 35 yards. Jim, or Tom, I totally lost that, baby.
Spike, they had him by the shirt. They almost pulled his shirt off, and like you said, he's got such leg strength. He pulled out of it, and he started the old Liberty Center running back. He went back to the center of the field and cut back, and he almost broke that.
Wow, 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 wow.
We got a penalty flag on the play.
Uh-oh. Here again, indications seem that it's against Liberty. That's kind of the way they're
I'm hearing on the sideline they're yelling equipment, something about equipment.
Well, at this point, not that critical, Tom. There's 3:24 left, and we've kind of got some field position again.
Well, that's a big run by Silvas. That got us out of a hole down there and gave us fairly good field position.
All right, now Tigers with the wing set to the left. Give straight ahead to Weimer. Weimer boring his way right up the middle off that right guard. And a gain of about, we'll call it 8 on the play.
Spike, I think
behind Hill and Martinez.
Spike, I think we got him looking for off tackle and outside, and Weimer busted it back up the middle. Like I said, that play is gonna open up later on.
All right, 2:58 clock running. Tigers now maybe have in their mind that maybe they could go somewhere on this series as the clock in the first half winds down. Here's the give to Silvas. Tries to get outside, makes a cut and a spin inside, down across the 50 to about the 49, and a gain of about 4.
Spike, he went down pretty awkwardly there. He made a nice run out of it, though, but he took a hit at the end, I thought.
Well, here
good
again,
yardage.
Kurt Silvas is a senior, very durable, very strong. So 3rd and short. We'll call it a long 2 for the Tigers. They need to get to the Ram 46. Tigers with the wing tee set to the right. Silvas to the left, Weimer behind the quarterback. Give to Weimer off that left side, finds running room, and he's going to be pick up first down yardage, but I don't like where that flag came from.
Flag came out in the backfield there.
Well, the Tigers, wow. I'm sure it's this officiating crew.
Looks like a legal block.
Has
a legal block.
Below the waist, if that's the way I read that signal. So now instead of a first down, Tigers will be looking at 3rd and long.
That's a big one, Spike. That's 15 yards.
Block below the waist called against the Tigers.
That's a tough call, Spike. We had the first down there, and now that backs us up 3rd and awful long.
Yeah, instead of having the ball at the 44, a loss of 20 yards in field position. But the clock is running, and worst case scenario, the Tigers can run this clock down to where Mineral Ridge won't get their hands on it. So 3rd and a bunch. Here's the give, inside reverse to Babcock. They grab at the football. Babcock works his way back up to the 40, but a flag in the Tiger backfield, and I don't think they like the way the Tigers run that inside reverse.
So they go motion, Spike.
Well, so far the penalty yardage definitely hangs favor to Mineral Ridge.
They declined a Spike. They want to use up that down instead of taking the penalty.
Yeah, because that stops the clock. It brings up 4th down. Good call there. It's too bad it wasn't a procedure penalty, of course. Then we could have kept the down the same with the clock stopping. All right, now the clock restarted once everything is set, so that ends slightly in the favor of the Tigers. $1:25, clock running.
Main thing is we need to make sure everybody gets their blocks and get the punt off.
Bobby Black, about 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Low spiraling kick. That's going to take a bounce. That's a good sign. Taken there at the 21. Not much running room. Finally hemmed in and stopped there at about the 27-yard line. 1:07 to go here in the first half. Tigers still lead at 6-0.
Spike, I think Tyler Carpenter was down there first. That was a nice punt by Bobby Black.
Yeah, and the Tigers got great coverage. Black was able to get it toward the sideline, away from a possible return, and that allowed the Tigers to hem him in early.
Well, we'll see what the Rams of Mineral Ridge want to do here. Maybe they don't have enough time to run it down the field. Maybe they're going to try some passes. We can...
Well, and this could be a good forecast of what we see in the second half should the Tigers hang on to this slim 6-0 lead.
They're in a shotgun formation now, Spike.
Yeah, trip receivers to the short side of the field. Weimer showing blitz, coming hard, little slant over the middle, caught, hit right there by Brian Babcock, I believe, up at the 37-yard line, very close to a first down.
He just went down and cut in. He got into that seam, and he made a nice pass to him. And the thing is, the first down stops the clock till the yard markers are set again.
All right, the Mineral Ridge chain gang hustles it up, and the clock running now. They moved a little bit too fast, maybe, to suit Mineral Ridge. Low snap, fielded clean. Fires over the middle, caught at the 44. Hit immediately and brought down, I believe, Casey Bodenbender on the initial hit. Help from Brian Babcock, but a flag on the play. Holding on the Rams. And Tom, 51 seconds. Would you, I assume that you would take the penalty here for the field position.
Yes, move them back, and let's see what they want to do. If they want to keep passing, there's always a chance that we might pick one off. We got instant field position on them.
Yep, that's true. First down, and we'll call it nearly 25 yards. Mineral Ridge needs to get the ball up to their own 49-yard line for a first down. Ball rests at the 26. Little play action, a draw play, breaks a tackle, tries to cut to the outside, breaks another tackle, spins his way through, gain of 15 yards on the play.
Brett Babcock finishing out. Weimer had him in the backfield by one arm, but he couldn't hang on to him.
Well, and you see there evidence of the speed and quickness of a couple of those ball players from Ridge, and you just don't dare give those guys a head of steam. Wow.
You never know, too. Eric might have had a hold of him with that arm with the bad elbow, and he might have not been able to hang on, but he got away from him.
Well, Tom, I don't think there is such a thing with Eric as a bad elbow or a bad arm. That kid, oblivious to all pain his goal is simply right there.
It's just a wonder sometimes how he can play. And the 1 week he come back after being hurt, I think he had 23 tackles. It's hard to believe.
Yeah. Okay, the Rams coming to the line of scrimmage. Now they show twin receivers to the wide side, the far side of the field. Drop, rolling to the left, pressure by Stewart. Slows him down, a flag in the backfield, and the dump pass caught out there and hit at the 50. Good for a first down, but I'm hoping we're going to have a hold in the backfield.
They had him trapped in the backfield. They did complete the pass, and Paul Smith really laid a hit on him, but I don't think it's going to go.
Well, let's hope that way. I've seen a lot of surprises down through the years. Tiger coach is signaling to take the penalty, and that'll push Mineral Ridge back another 10 yards back to their own approximately 35-yard line.
Spike, I always figure that's a hard play to run. You take a quarterback, a right-handed quarterback, and you roll him left, and they put pressure on him. He has to stop and turn to throw the ball, and he just can't hardly. Sometimes they don't have the time to do it. It makes for a hard play.
Well, but what it does do, it gives the receivers time to get downfield, kind of sort out the defense, and then make cuts. And the quarterback, as he's rolling, as we've seen, throws those wobbly. Who was the old Minnesota quarterback that threw that way?
Joe Kapp.
Yes, Joe Kapp. All right, here we go. They're going to run a pitch sweep to the left. And that's going to go nowhere. Loss of about 4 on the play. And that's going to end the first half. Liberty Center scored quick. They scored first on their first possession. About 4 or 5 plays, they went 60 yards. And that's been the scoring here in this first half. Mineral Ridge has penetrated into the Tiger territory a couple times, but the defense has stiffened. So at the end of one half of play, it's the Tigers 6 and the Mineral Ridge Rams 0. Okay, quick overview of the first half stats. Liberty Center, Silvas 8 carries for 60 yards. Eric Weimer 4 carries for 58, highlighted by Eric's 44-yard touchdown run in the first minute and a couple seconds of that first quarter. Brett Babcock 4 carries for 12. Liberty Center 16 for 130 on the ground for 8.2. In comparison, Mineral Ridge 24 carries, 90 yards. So 3.7 on the ground for Mineral Ridge, 8.2 for Liberty. Mineral Ridge 2 of 6 for 23 in the air. Liberty 1 of 5 for 4 yards. So altogether, Liberty Center 20 plays for 134, and Mineral Ridge 30 for 113. Liberty averaging 6.5 yards a play, and Mineral Ridge averaging 3.5. Big difference though, time of possession. Mineral Ridge with 30 plays, Liberty Center with 20. Time of possession about 15.5 for Mineral Ridge and 8.5 for Liberty Center. Penalties, Liberty 7 for 70 yards, Mineral Ridge 5 for 55. And on the defense, Eric Weimer with 3 hurries, Derek Proudfoot with 1, and Jan Stewart with 1. Let's see, Jeremiah Hill, a fumble recovery. And then in the tackle department, Weimer leads all tacklers with 11, Silvas 9, Slee with 4, Smith with 3, Bodenbender 3, and then a host of players with 2. We've got Carpenter, Brian Babcock, Jeremiah Hill, Espinoza, Butler, Jason Moeller, and Brett Babcock, all with 2. Tom, the telling thing there is I think the defense is battling it out here. Field position went against Liberty Center, but they were able to hang on. Now, though, Liberty kicking off to start the second half. Low line drive, hits the ground, bounces high, hauled in there at the 8-yard line. Another good kickoff by Sanchez. A bit of a seam, and the ball carrier nose dives ahead across the 25, up to about the 27, where the Mineral Ridge Rams will take over.
That was Paul Smith and Ryan McClurin on that tackle, Spike.
Okay, well, here's where we pretty much left off, Tommy, old boy. The Tigers on defense and a whole bunch of it.
Well, I see the Mineral Ridge is in the huddle now. Now they're coming out using the huddle instead of up to the line of scrimmage.
Okay, they come right back out with that 2 tight ends, stacked eye offense. Give to the second back off the left side. Gets up across the 30, gain of maybe 4 on the play, and the Tigers interior bottles that up.
That's their big fullback again. That was Tyler Carpenter in.
Rams number 3, Micah Hall.
Looked like Espinoza was in on that tackle.
All right, a good, healthy, left-footed spot. That'll put the ball across the 31. And second down, we'll call it 6 to go. Opening play just starting here in the second half. Liberty Center over 8th ranked in the state, Mineral Ridge, 6-0. Give to the tailback, running room, and a great open field tackle.
Ball carrier for the Rams, number 10, Levi Lee.
Let's see.
I think that was Paul Smith. Eric Weimer, they say, got the
They
tackle.
gave Eric Weimer credit. I thought Paul Smith
I
myself.
thought Paul Smith did too, but that might have been a saver, Spike. That,
Oh, boy.
He made a big play on that.
Yeah, you know, at Mineral Ridge with that standard offense, you know, they do a lot of delays at the line of scrimmage. They try to run like what I would call some sort of a slant. All right, now give to the last back, breaks 1 tackle, and battles ahead. You know, rumor has it Mineral Ridge, a very strong second half team, but that goes back to their physical prowess. And here again, they're bumped up against our Liberty Center boys who, and I say boys only facetiously, but we're also a second half team. So it's going to be the will of the stronger here.
Yeah, that play there, Spike. Jan Stewart had him around the collar, and he got away until the Tigers could finish him off, but he got a little bit of a gain.
All right, just over 10 minutes left, third period. 2nd and 8, quarterback on a keeper, tries to find running room, and bounces off 1 tackle, maybe gets a yard and a half. That'll bring it up to about 3rd down and 5. Ball, yeah, they're going to mark it 3rd and 6, gain of only a yard. So Mineral Ridge back in long yardage situation.
He started to his left, Spike, and he cut back in the middle, and he went head on, I think, with Bodenbender and a couple of the other, Carpenter, I think, and they put a pretty good hit on him. Now it makes it a little bit 3rd and long.
All right, Tyler Carpenter has done a great job as he's won a spot in that Tiger linebacking core. Big play here, 3rd and 6. Give to the last back, trying to find room, breaks 1 tackle, and he's going to have enough. Gain of 7 for a Mineral Ridge first down.
Ball carrier for the Rams, number 10, Levi
Simply, he kept picking his way, not really barreling ahead, but found a seam and twisted and turned, battled his way up for the first down.
That's exactly what he did. He went into the line, he went and then he cut back out to his right, and he ended up, this Tiger secondary had to end up making a stop on him. Spike, it's just same as the first half. They're come out with that big offensive line, and they're just running it. I noticed one thing is the guy in that stacked eye, the front guy, I don't think he's got the ball yet tonight.
No, I don't believe. All right, now I believe Butler in there in the interior of the line. Tigers stay on side. Now we've got a flag. Oh, come on. The guy in the backfield, defensive backfield, threw the penalty. I believe now the Tigers a little exuberant, so perhaps the penalty will go against Mineral Ridge.
Illegal procedure, Spike.
Well, sometimes it takes a little break like that to slow down the offensive momentum, and a running team like this.
Well, first and 15 is a lot different than 1st and 10.
Well, now they get the spot right. They got it on the other side of the 45-yard line. Now we're going to wait. I'm not sure the official on this side of the field liked the way the ball was spotted.
Looks like a timeout, Liberty Center.
Timeout, Tigers.
Okay, after the timeout, 1st and 15, Mineral Ridge. Give to the last back. Nothing doing there. Smackarito in the backfield. Espinoza with,
Looked like Weimer was in on there too.
yeah, Weimer probably had the hit. Good penetration also from Espinoza. Once again, you'll not notice it with the camera work by Landis as he can zoom in, but always difficult to pick those orange numbers off the white shirts. So the Tigers with a big defensive play there. That puts Mineral Ridge in perhaps a little play action mode. Now dropping back, fires up, caught and incomplete. Good recovery by Kurt Silvas.
Spike, I think the receiver had the ball in his hand, but Silvas hit him and dislodged it. That brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, that's one more time the Tigers make a play, and that's so big as we saw, I believe, Brett Babcock in the first half strip a possible touchdown reception away from Mineral Ridge, and that time Kurt Silvas recovers. So a very huge play for the Tiger defense. Mineral Ridge with a 3rd, and we'll call it 17 to go. They need to get the ball down to the Tiger 41 for a 1st down. Out of shotgun. Now dropping, rolling hard, pressure from Proudfoot, the home run ball, wide open receiver, but caught out of bounds. Wait a minute. No, they're going to rule he was in bounds, and the Tigers give up. Wow. Nope, now they do rule incomplete. Tom, I thought he ruled catch.
I couldn't really tell it, but here again, Derek Proudfoot was chasing the quarterback and made him hustle that throw out there. I know it's one thing, they had 5 defensive backs in there. They were playing pass all the way.
Well, and there you go. Proudfoot may have not have got credit for a tackle, but certainly forced him to continue rolling and forcing this 4th down probable punt. Silvas back at his own 24-yard line. High snap over his head. Tigers have a chance for a break. Now looking to punt, and he'll get it off, and that's going to go out of bounds short of the 50-yard line. Oh, no. Does that come with an automatic 1st down? What? Oh, my.
I thought he was running with the ball, Spike, and I thought when he's doing that.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I agree, Tom. That is now it is more than 15 yards. I don't know if there's an automatic 1st down attached to this penalty.
Spike, it might be automatic first. Let's see what he calls.
Oh, my. I'll never say in football that the officials are homers, but man, oh, man, oh, man. Well, it's going to be actually short of the yardage needed, but we'll see if the automatic 1st down is tacked on. Wow, what a change in, yeah, that's a 1st down. So a 15-yard penalty, and the Rams get a 1st down on the Liberty Center 40, short of the 42-yard line. Well, the Liberty defense once again is called upon. Stacked eye offense, double tight end set. Tigers show blitz, now give off the right side, worming his way through, hit by Silvas, and help from a host of Tiger tacklers after a 5-6 yard gain for the Rams.
That was Bodenbender and Silvas bring him down to big fullback. Spike, I think we got a new quarterback in there. Number 4 was at quarterback that time.
6-yard gain. Brings up a 2nd
wow. 2nd and 4. Mineral Ridge with the ball at the Tiger 36. Jim, yes. Slap me. What a turn of events here. Holy cow. Now give to the 2nd back, now cuts back across the grain, runs into the official, and still picks up about 12, and another 1st down around the Tiger 25.
Bodenbender and Espinoza brought him down, but I think the official, he just about brought him down when he cut to the outside there, but you're right, going back to that, thought we had a break there. The ball went over the punter's head, and he ran to his right, and we ended up getting the penalty out of it. That's a big, big play in the game.
Boy, I guarantee you in all the years I've watched Tiger football, I've never once seen a penalty on that type of play.
I thought when he was running with the ball that he was fair game, but
Well, here we go. 1st and 10 at the Tiger 25-yard line. Give to the 2nd back, tries for running room off the right side, maybe a yard on the play. Tigers close fast.
Butler and Slee are in on that tackle, but we're getting a steady dose of the big 210-pound fullback.
Yeah, now they're into that mode of trying to wear the other team down. Liberty Center now will have to make another big play on defense. Whew. Boy, when you look at the possibilities of getting the ball anywhere from the 20, even up to the 50-yard line, and now all of a sudden Mineral Ridge with a huge momentum turnaround. 2nd and 9, ball at the Tiger 24. 6:15 clock running. Now cut to the outside, running room, gets down short of the 20. We'll give him about 4 on the play. Boy, they're quick. You know, they come to the line and then they belly it out. They look for that hole.
Well, that number 4 is a new quarterback. He's getting him a little bit different look in there. It took Eric Weimer to bring him down there towards the sideline, but number 4 ran it maybe twice or so, but this guy here, he might be the option guy.
Well, gain of actually 3 on the play, so the Tigers with good lateral pursuit force Mineral Ridge into a 3rd and 7. Of course, 4 down territory. Give left side on the slant the other way and hauled down inside the 20 to the 19, and a big play coming up. 4th down, and we'll call it a long 4 yards.
Spike, Chris Butler made a big play there. He grabbed him from behind. He looked like he had running room down the right side. He made a nice play on that. He might have saved us a touchdown.
Yeah, Butler, a pretty tough kid coming in off the bench in that middle.
Field goal.
All right, 4th down and 5. 5 minutes left, 3rd period. They're in, setting up for the field goal. I believe 33 yards. High line drive kick.
Good.
Splits the uprights good, and we've got us a 6-3 ball game.
Spike, that's about a 36-yarder, but we were watching him in warm-ups, and we made note of it. He was standing at the 25, and he was booming them into the end zone there, into the band seats.
All right, let's, after the score, now it's 6-3, we've got a chance. We'll get our sponsors again here. We've got Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy Hill, Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry right uptown in Tigertown, Pisanello's Pizza with Craig and Shirey Myers. They sponsor that twice-a-day buffet and pizza to go for $1 during buffet hours. Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt, The Dugout with Steve and Catherine Parasini, Trucker's Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke, and of course along with all the breakfast at any time during the day and good meals at dinner and at supper. Also Jerry with those 57 kinds of homemade pies. We got Kyle Kern, state-of-the-art repair work, body work, and service work of all kinds with their KK Collision. Schaefer Truck and RV Sales with Terry Schaefer between Delta and Liberty on Road 10. Miller Brother Trucking with Old Football Salt, Skip Miller. And Eon Industries with Judy Leininger and Dawn Bender. All right, set to go here. Mineral Ridge to kick off from the 40-yard line. Bounding ball picked up there at the 22. Babcock tries to kick to the outside, back up the middle, stays on his feet, and a return all the way back up to the 41-yard line. So the Tigers start with good field position, Tommy.
I don't think they want to kick it deep to Smith or Kurt Silvas. They were stacked back there in an I formation, and they didn't want to kick it back to those two guys. They must have seen something on the tapes.
Well, I tell you what, you can't beat field position like this. So now the Tigers, though, Tom, have been on the field defensively for nearly the whole game. Now they need to sustain something here. Now here's Babcock in motion, give to Weimer. Weimer battling up across the 45 to the 46. Pickup of about 5. Boy, Jim, Tom, slap me if I ever say it again.
I got a pen right here. I could write it on my forehead.
Yeah.
That was a good run by
5 on the play.
The key was, now we got 2nd
from the
and 5.
46.
That makes it a lot better than 3rd and long.
Yeah.
A big play on 1st down.
Yeah, that time behind Wiley, Van Sickle, and Espinoza. Wing package to the left, Babcock in motion to the near side of the field. Give to Weimer. Weimer battles ahead, driving, pounding, and battles his way enough for a 1st down. In that first half, I forgot to mention, 3 rushing 1st downs, 1 in the air, and 2 by penalty by Mineral Ridge. And Liberty Center, on the other hand, with only 3 1st downs rushing. 3 1st downs total in that first half. Center outgained Mineral Ridge by about 30 yards. Still, time of possession and first downs favored the Rams. But the Tigers now in Ram territory at the 48. Wing package to the right. Babcock motion left. Here's a give straight ahead. Weimer, his third carry in a row, gets down across the 45. Not a real healthy spot by the officiating crew. But Weimer with a solid pickup of about 3, we'll call it.
On that play before this, Spike, somebody had a hand on him in the backfield, and he just pulled away from him and bulldozed his way up for the first down. That was a big play, got us over midfield, and the field position is kind of shifting back to us now.
Yeah, and Weimer with the rare abilities, he's got fullback power in those legs, but yet halfback danceability, if you will, around the line of scrimmage. Now motion, Babcock. Here's play action, has time, lofts it out there. Babcock! Ouch! The ball comes loose down around the 26-yard line, so that'll bring up third down with the ball at the Mineral Ridge 44.
That was good protection and a good pass, Spike. It just didn't connect. They might just put that one away and come back to it later. That might work. That was wide open.
Yep, Babcock in motion coming this way and then simply broke down the hash marks, cut it outside. But the Tigers still in business, 3rd and 7. 3:05 left third period. Tigers up 6-3. Again, trouble from the backside. He's got time, now sacked. Wow, he had time, but good coverage downfield.
That guy came from all the way to the other side of the formation, and he just kept following him and following him, finally caught up with him. That brings up 4th down, Spike.
Yeah, and like I said, a good call to coverage sack. Nobody open downfield. So the Tigers now with a choice. They need they need 9 yards down to the 38 for a first down. But, of course, you hopefully, if they punt, hopefully, of course, to pin them back. They've got 2 receivers backing around the 12. Here's Black. A wobbly kick and a fair catch called for at the 17-yard line. So one good thing about it, Tom, we've got field position here.
Yeah, that was a nice punt by Bobby. And whenever a punter can, the coach says, whenever a punter can pin him down inside the 20, that's what we want. I noticed one thing. We got the gunners on the outside, Paul Smith and Casey Bodenbender. They get downfield awful quick. That guy had to make that for a catch.
Yeah, and once again, on the last series on defense, the Tigers managed to outplay that terrible penalty in regards of possession and field position. Now the give, and finds a seam, stays on his feet. Oh my! Boy, there's help right there in the form of Kurt Silvas.
I thought they had him in the backfield, Spike, but he cut to the outside. Somebody tried to roadblock him, and he ran right over top of him, and Kurt Silvas had to save it.
22 yards. You know, and that's the thing about a running game like this. You're going to go 3 and out in some series, or maybe 1 first down and punt. But you running offense is going to keep pounding it at you, hoping for the break there.
They got those 2 big tackles, Spike, 280 and 265.
Yep. All right. Mineral Ridge and that stacked eye. Give to the second back off the right side. A great knifing defensive play. Tate Slee. Smackarino, loss of a couple.
Tate Slee did wrap him up, and Casey Bodenbender finished him off.
Now, wait a minute now. Are they getting awful generous on spots? Gee, money.
Spike, I noticed one thing is number 14's back in the game, a quarterback. Number 4 ran that 1 series, and now we got number 14 back in.
As I look into the Tiger crowd, I notice some other people very disenchanted with the spot. Now give off the left side. Running room, stays on his feet. Out there slowing him down is Silvas, but a gain of about 13 on the play and a Mineral Ridge first down. Oh, and this game moving along rapidly. Only a minute and 12 seconds remaining in period number 3.
They look like they're getting a little stronger here. The Tigers are going to have to start wrapping up. They need to make some tackles.
Well, 1st and 10. Mineral Ridge at the Liberty 45. Same stacked die offense. Tiger crowd coming alive here. Give to the last back. Tries to battle it up the middle. Gets across the line of scrimmage. And we'll give him a short 2-yard gain. Tom,
Looks like Eric Weimer was on the bottom there, Spike.
Tom, this may be one of the most critical plays of, you may not realize it, but the Tigers need a stop here. They need to force Mineral Ridge into that 3rd and long stuff and away from the 3rd and 4s and the 3rd and 3s.
They got to put the pressure on them. You're right. When they go 3rd and long, the pressure is on them. They're going to have to make a stop here.
All right, Tigers show 9 men up in the box. Here is the give off the left side. He's going to be short of the 40, so a gain of about 2.5 yards. Oh my, it's 3rd and long, but maybe not quite long enough for Tigers' way of thinking.
There was a good surge on that line from the offensive line, but Jan Stewart cut in from his right end position. He brought him down by the shoestrings.
Yeah, the Tigers have had a lot of good pursuit there. And now we're going to have a timeout down on the field. No, I'm sorry. The end of the 3rd quarter, I pointed out, only 1:12 seconds to go. And a big play, obviously, for both teams when we come back. Okay, ready to go. 4th and final quarter. Mineral Ridge, 3rd and 6 at the Tiger 41. They give to the second back through, looking for running room, cuts to the outside, and the Tigers close, and a big hit there, may have saved it. Boy, for a minute there they had him stopped, and then he squiggled his way loose, and then a big hit stops him short of a 1st down.
He started up the middle, he cut to the right, and we had the pursuit, had him, then he cut back. He cut back to the left, and he cut back again towards the end zone and almost got the 1st down. Silvas had to stop him.
Well, now Mineral Ridge with 11:36 remaining in the game. They trail 6-3. It would be 36. It would be 53-yard field goal. Obviously, that out of the question. But with 4th and less than a yard, they're going to go. They need to get the nose of the ball across the 35. Here's the give to the first back, the dive straight ahead, and that's going to be enough. Not much Liberty Center could do to stop that play.
They had penetration underneath, but he just went over top. So that's a big 1st down. Keeps the ball moving.
Well, the Tigers' defense has been coming up with big plays all night. They're going to need to come up with another one here. Time winding down here in the ball game. 11:10 left in the 4th quarter. And like I said, Liberty Center leading 6-3. Stacked eye, give to the last back, looks for running room, breaks out of a tackle. Bodenbender slowed him down and stopped by Paul Smith. Gain of about 10 yards on the play.
Spike, the Rams are hot. They're picking up some big-time yardage here on about every running play. Looks like the Tiger defense is getting a little bit tired. They're going to have to...
Well, you know, he was contested coming through the line of scrimmage, but nobody there to meet him as he broke that plane. So now a dangerous down for the Tiger defense. 2nd and about 2. Give off the left side, and I believe enough for the 1st down. Ball resting at the Tiger 21. Boy, it's been a great effort for the Tigers all night long on that defensive side, but how often or how long can you expect to hold out a team with the talent of Mineral Ridge?
There's nothing special about what they're doing. They're just running straight ahead almost.
Eric Weimer checks out of the lineup momentarily. 1st and 10, Mineral Ridge at the Tiger 21. 10-11 clock running. Give off the left side, running room out there. A straight arm and pushed and hauled out of bounds. Tigers not letting go. Was that...
Paul Smith ran him out of bounds, Spike.
Paul Smith fought through the straight arm, but gain of 4 on the play.
You know, Spike, the last 4 weeks, the Tigers have ended up recovering 9 fumbles and grabbing 6 interceptions, 15 turnovers. Defense needs to find some way to dig deep and come up with some kind of big play.
Yep, absolutely. An old compadre of mine, Mr. Jerry Miles, said be a great time to run the fumble play here. Well, Mineral Ridge with the momentum here. Liberty Center Uh-oh, now we're going to have a Mineral Ridge timeout. Okay, set to go here. 2nd down and 5 for the Ridge boys. Give straight ahead, pounding, driving inside the 15 down to about the 13. And
I think it's Brett Babcock and Jason Moeller made the stop on there. Wait.
The Rams relentless on this drive, simply grinding out small chunks at a time, but methodically moving the ball downfield. Still plenty of time for Liberty Center, regardless of how this series turns out. 8:52, clock running. Give to the second back, down close to the 10, and I believe short of the 10, but they don't need to get inside the 11 for the first down.
Looked like Weimer and Espinoza got down underneath the pile and stopped him just short.
Wow. Wow, talk about decision time if you're Mineral Ridge. Liberty Center simply on defense has to take what the Rams bring, but Mineral Ridge could go for the tie or they could go for the 1st and 10. Jeremiah Hill checks into the game for Liberty Center. They're gonna go. Uh-oh, the Tigers may have too many men.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody come out.
Penalty on the play. Illegal substitution against Liberty Center.
Well, Spike, I think it's just a matter of 2 guys went in and 1 guy came out. Lost count.
Result of the play, 1st and goal, Mineral Ridge.
All right, Mineral Ridge with a 1st and goal at the, we'll call it the 7. They come with that same stacked eye offense. Give to the last back, tries to find running room inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line.
Casey Bodenbender finally had to bring him down, but he was running awful hard.
Yeah, they're getting that push right now and getting into the Tigers secondary. Wow. Boy, if you ever talk about a courageous goal line stand needed, boy, this is it. Tigers stack the box. They've got 9-10 men in there. Give off the left side, and I believe he's going to be short. That'll bring up 3rd, and I believe a yard loss. So 3rd and now goal from the 2. Oh boy, Tommy, this ain't over yet.
Butler and Weimer managed just to knife in there and stop him, but it's got to be close.
Well, obviously the Tigers need a stop here to force Mineral Ridge into a decision. 6:51 4th quarter, 6-3 Liberty Center. Give off the right side. Nothing doing, baby. He's not in the end zone either. That's going to bring up 4th and goal.
Weimer again, but I think that the surge from that defensive line, they just nullified anything that the Rams could put against them. So now it's, like you say, decision time. He's already kicked a 36-yarder, so that probably is one choice, but there's a big decision by the coach.
Well, the Tigers defense rising to the occasion on 2 straight downs, and now Mineral Ridge, clock running with a decision to make. And they're going to have to use a timeout. Slow to get the play on the field.
Well, the quarterback went to the sideline talking to the coach, and by the time he got back in, there wasn't a whole lot of time left. So,
what a chance for a goal line stand.
They're down to 1 timeout.
Yep, that's their they got 1 left. After the timeout, 6:08 on the clock. It'll be 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. We'll be back.
Anyway.
All right, here we go. We may see some sort of a rollout here. Tom said they're going to go for it, get to the second back through. And he stopped! He stopped! He didn't get in! He didn't get in! The Liberty Center Tiger defense comes up, plays big when the chips were down!
Spike! They look like there was a hole there. He leaped into the hole, and I think Brett Babcock, I didn't get the number, but somebody nailed him, a 210-pound fullback, and he stopped him and pushed him sideways, and it did not allow him to get in the end zone.
Okay. Now the flip side, 6:03 left, a lot of ball game. Liberty Center holds at the 2. Now actually the ball resting on the 1 yard line. Mineral Ridge, look for them to come with their ears pinned back. They've got 8 men up in the box. Babcock in motion. Give straight ahead. And I believe it's Weimer maybe battles back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard. Silvas, excuse me. Maybe gets a yard on the play.
Spike, with under 6 minutes to go, if we could somehow get a couple first downs to kill some of this clock, they've only got 1 timeout. They're going to be in kind of a pinch to stop the clock if we can get out of there.
Boy, what a ball game here. Mineral Ridge came with a bunch of bodies that time. Tigers now move to the double wing package with Weimer the lone setback. Babcock in motion. Here's Bryan rolling out in the end zone, looks, fires, caught by Silvas at the 10, at the 15. He's got a Tiger first down. He's got a Tiger first down. What a play, what a ball player. Babcock fires to Silvas, caught. He worms his way upfield to the 21.
Spikey faked it to Silvas, I think, into the line off the left side, and he just kind of floated out here along the sideline. Brian Babcock running for his life, lobbed him the ball, and we got a first down.
Wow, wow. Tom, as we've talked between ourselves, this game with a lot riding on it, and now the Tigers have bought themselves some room. Now back to the standard wing right set. Babcock in motion, give to Weimer straight up the middle. Weimer bangs his way ahead for about 3.5.
We'll take it, Spike. That's the key. The more plays we run, it eats up about 20, 30, 40 seconds every time we run a play. And as it goes on, it's going to put the Rams in kind of a hurt.
Wow. And, of course, like you say, clock running, and the Rams with only 1 timeout. Well, a gutsy call by Coach Lindgren there. Very dangerous rollout, but handled successfully on the last play, of course. Babcock now in motion. Here's the give to Silvas. Behind a great block by Jeremiah Hill, I believe. And a huge gain by Silvas. Gain of 9 on the play, and it's another Tiger first down.
Let's give a little credit, Spike, to that line. Pulling out there, and those guys are putting him on the ground and give Silvas a chance to make his moves. We know what kind of moves he has. You give him a small slot, he's going to find it and he's going to break it.
Boy, what a ball game. Clock running, 4:24. Liberty Center with a 1st and 10 at their own 33. Babcock taking his time. A valuable seconds for Mineral Ridge ticking off. Here's Babcock in motion right. Here's a give straight ahead. Positive yardage. Grinding straight ahead is Silvas. Weimer, excuse me. I got to get it right on that call.
That's a big pickup on first down.
Yep. 5+ yards. That puts the ball up to the 38-yard line. Well, doggone it, the Brakes have won against Liberty Center of much of the game, but that great call down there from the 1 yard line to get Liberty Center out to the 20.
Now, nice play.
All right, time still ticking, clock running, 3:35 here in the 4th quarter. Babcock in motion to the short side, gives straight ahead Weimer, twists and dives, and I believe he's going to get the good spot rather than the short one, so that'll bring up 3rd down and very short.
This is a part of the game, Spike, where you grab your lineman, the Hogs on the sideline, and you tell them, we need some blocking, we need first downs. We get first downs, game's over. We need to get some blocking, and the backs need to hang on to the ball and keep running hard.
Well, the Liberty Center Tigers really dug in. Now they've got to dig in again. 3rd and 1, ball at the 41-yard line. Babcock letting the clock run down, clock at 2:55. Give straight ahead, and more than enough by Eric Weimer! Off the Tiger left side, a gain of 6, and it's another Tiger first down!
Spike, that's what we've been talking about. He went off that left side. He went off that left side and he just kept his feet moving. Somebody had a hold of him. He just kept dragging him. And that is 3 more. Mineral Ridge just used their last time out there, so they're not going to be able to stop the clock too many more times if they don't have the ball.
All right. We'll set this. We'll set the positioning here after the timeout. 2:48 to go. Tigers clinging 6-3 lead.
Is this huge or what?
Okay, back to action here. Tigers with a first down. The ball spotted at the Liberty Center's own 48. 2:48 remaining. They lead 6-3 over the Mineral Ridge Rams. Give to Silvas off the right side. Running room and pounds and battles his way off the right side down to about the 46-yard line of Mineral Ridge.
What a pickup on first down. Spike, I just noticed they got the big boys. They've got 76 and number 75. That's the 280 and 260 pounder right over the center. And Silvas took that off the right tackle. They kind of ran away from him.
All right, Tigers now with a second down and a short 3 to go. Wing package to the right. Silvas on the left. Weimer behind the quarterback. Babcock under the center. Scott Stewart. Babcock in motion. Give to Weimer. Weimer with running room. Met at the 40. Drives and pounds. Twists his way inside the 40. Down to the 37-yard line. Tommy, I can smell it now. 2:01. The clock stopped while they set the chain.
Spike, I want to say something. That was a tremendous run by Weimer. But Kurt Silvas laid a block as a lead in there that gave him that extra momentum to get him outside and make that extra yardage. There was some big-time blocking going inside.
Well, Liberty Center now in the position. They may not have to give the ball up again. 1:52 clock running. They lead 6-3 in one of them good old-fashioned 3 yards in a cloud of dust football games. Silvas on the left, the Weimer behind the quarterback, Babcock the wing on the right. Here's the give. Silvas looks to get outside, cuts it back across the grain, spins his way inside the 35 to the 33, and a minute and a half to go. Second coming up. We may not have to run too many more plays. Tom.
He ran that ball off the right side again, and if you notice when he was running that ball, he had both arms on it. He's not going to give it up. Spike, they got no timeouts. Second down and 6. They cannot stop the clock.
No, I think it may be over. And this brings back memories of Bedford Chanel. That courageous, heroic goal line stand. They had first and goal at the 1. They stopped them. It gave the Tigers a chance to move the ball 95 yards with an opportunity to win the game. Tigers with that goal line stand. Now they've got the ball, and they've marched it 65 yards. Here's the give to Silvas inside the 30-yard line.
Penalty flag.
And that stops the clock. However, certainly not the...
I think it's going to be on Liberty, Spike.
Even so. Now, I'm not understanding this.
Oh.
Offsetting penalties, apparently.
Yeah.
So the clock will stop.
Is that a no play? They'll just play it over?
I believe it'll be second down again. And of course,
will
Liberty,
they start the clock?
I believe the clock may not start now since Liberty was penalized. It may not start now until
it's offsetting.
Yeah, offsetting penalties. Boy, Tom, just when you thought the darkest days were upon Liberty Center, what a goal line stand. That will go down in the Tiger annals as one of the greatest goal line stands, not for the impact simply of this game, but what it could mean to Liberty Center down the road. Now the clock running again. They did start the clock. Liberty Center may only have to snap the ball one more time. What a game! What a game! 6-3, the Tigers lead.
Mike, this is big time. This is a ton of computer points for Liberty Center out of this. Because this team here is a good football team. They are going to win 8-9 games this year at least. That's going to be a tremendous lift going into next week at senior night at Liberty Center against Bryan.
Oh, man, Tom. Oh, no. Oh, certainly there were doubting Thomases here for the hundreds of Liberty Center fans who made this 192-mile trek. There had to be some doubting Thomases, and I'm not so sure that I wasn't pretty worried myself. But the Tigers showed their true grit. Now they've got the football. One more snap.
He might just take a knee and not try to chance a handoff.
And Babcock takes the knee, and that clock will run down now. 16, 15, 14. And Tom, what a turn of events here when Liberty Center had lost all momentum. The defense had been on the field for 2/3 of the game. The cream rose to the top.
You're right, Spike. It was a gut check. The defense made the stop, but remember, the offense got 3 or 4 first downs, got it out of there, and put the game away. They had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to put it away, and they did it. Mineral Ridge did not get another chance.
And Tom, the Liberty Center started the game off, and how many times have you seen this when Liberty Center or any team takes the ball, goes right down the field and scores, but it's the old story about the dog who runs fast doesn't run long.
That's right.
And that's pretty much the tale of the game for most of it. Mineral Ridge owned it late in the game, but somehow Liberty Center came through in the clutch when the chips were down, stopped them on the 1-yard line, and then, like you said, ground out 75 yards, about 73 yards of offense against a team that they couldn't run on most of the evening.
That was amazing, Spike. You know, this we figured it's going to be a tough defensive game, and that's what it ended up. The score is more like the American League Baseball playoffs here, 6-3. But it's a big win for Liberty Center, and I think you summed it up while we were up here on top of the roof. You said it's a gut check, and boy, I tell you what, Liberty Center has got a lot of guts. They did a nice job tonight.
No, this definitely, in terms of everything that Liberty Center stands for in their football tradition and this long-running, fine run of teams, we are now seeing one of the finest teams in the state. I believe two of the finest teams, because Mineral Ridge defended us not much better even than our friends to the south. They just totally shut our running game down. Granted, Patrick Henry, very, very good football team, not taking anything away from them here in this aftermath of a huge Tiger win. But Liberty Center found a way to get it done, and that's what counts.
In a game against, I would call it, I guess, East against West, Rex said on the radio last night that they were looking forward to tonight. They were going to find out how they matched up against one of the better teams in the state, and they did a nice job tonight. And you know, over the last couple of years, last year we played Detroit Country Day from Detroit area, beat them 20-6. Year before, a team from Sharpsville, Spencerville, I think. Was it Sharpsville or whatever? I'm sorry. We ended up beating them 55-35. So I tell you, Spike, on these off weeks when we're not playing in the league, we're taking on some pretty tough customers, and we find out that we're doing a pretty nice job against them. I mean, a real good job.
Yeah, you're seeing a Liberty Center team that's been rejuvenated by people coming back from injuries. You're seeing a Liberty Center team that is coming together psychologically, mentally, and those things happen when I've talked to a few of the players in this last week and a half, and these guys have confidence in themselves. They know what they're capable of, and now they're proving it to the rest of the world.
Yeah, with Mineral Ridge had 11.13 points in the computer standing, and Liberty Center had 7.5. They must have played some, they got some points somewhere, so this is going to be a big boost to Liberty Center. Now, Spike, they have to, this is a big win. They got to remember, they got to come back next week against Bryan. Then we got Delta, I think, the next week, and finally against Archibald. They must get down to business and keep the ball rolling, to say, and take one game at a time, I guess.
Well, absolutely. Now Liberty Center's record stands at 6-1. Likewise, Mineral Ridge also at 6-1. I think they're in a position to keep their standing in the playoff picture. I'm sure they may drop a couple spots, but they'll still be in good shape there. But for Liberty Center, what a benchmark game when it came time to prove to themselves and to the world just how really good they have become. So now, next week, Liberty Center, league game with the Bryan Golden Bears. And now Liberty Center with a chance to really put together a run.
Yeah, they're doing the old cheer from back in the old days. Hit, 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 hit. Spike, this puts somewhat of a damper on Mineral Ridge's homecoming tonight, but they got nothing to be ashamed of. That's one good football team, and they play good, tough football, defensively and offensively. They got nothing to be ashamed of.
No, the Liberty Center may not face a team that tough again for a long, long time. Well, I think, Tom, have you got any more pertinent comments to add in
First
here?
of all, I'd like to take this chance to thank you for giving me this opportunity to come up here and do this. It's a little intimidating. You and, what was his name? Jim, you've been saying that all night.
Yeah, I only said Jim about 39 times.
You guys do such a nice job. I appreciate it, and all the people in Liberty Center. It's a nice job, and you make it look easy, and it's not that easy. But I'd like to thank you again for this opportunity, and I couldn't ask for a better game. Thank you.
Oh, boy. Well, that'll wrap it up right here. Liberty Center hangs on in one of those gargantuan struggles that will go down in the annals as one of the greatest games ever played. Liberty Center with that first drive score. Point after touchdown attempt was blocked. That's the first time all season that's happened. And it looked like it could come into play. Mineral Ridge moved into field goal range in the second half, drilled one through. They were down there again. They had first and goal inside the 7-yard line. They drove down to the 2. 3 straight plays, and that was as far as they got. The Tigers put the clamps on heroically, and they moved the ball the last 5 minutes out or down to the 30-yard line to salt this away. So, like I said, Tigers moved to 6-1. Next week they entertain the Bryan Golden Bears. So for my faithful man on the video cam of several years, Landis Utopia Burmeister, and my sidekick for tonight and longtime buddy Tom Fry of the Liberty Press, this is Old Spiker saying one more time that final, Liberty Center 6, Mineral Ridge 3, and that'll wrap it up here from Ram Stadium. So on that note, good night and good Tiger Sports.
Tiger drill tonight, set to the sounds of Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire. together the Tiger Band and the Twirlers to a new release from the group, Hot, Hot Heat. Talk to me, dance with me. The Tiger Band wishes to salute the Queen and her court. We appreciate your support this evening and close our show to an old Liberty Center tradition. Yes, here it is, the show band's version of Barbara Ann.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for our national anthem.